guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well. I have a quick unboxing for you today. I know I said I shouldn't be buying anything, but I did it again. I mean, I just can't resist a good sale. Anyways, we'll open it and see. Every time I buy it though, I kind of tell myself maybe I won't keep it so it doesn't count. And I've mentioned this in my other video too. I live in a city where I don't have access to luxury boutiques, so it's not like I get to see them and try them on before I make my purchases. So the only way I get to see and try on the bag is if I buy them and possibly return them. So I always make sure there's a good return policy when I do things. And this item, I have to be honest, I've already purchased it, so you probably have already seen it. But I returned it based on I guess the feedback I'm getting from you guys, but I've repurchased it because it went on sale even more, and I can't pass up on it. So I think I'm gonna keep it. And yeah, so technically it considers as a bag that I broke my ban, I guess technically, but anyways, let me try to open it up first. And also the last bag that I got, I do think it was a little bit defective. So that was another reason why I didn't keep it. So let's hope this one will be better. And then I want to just spend some time today too to just talk about luxury purchase addiction and you know, how to better manage that overall. It's a real unboxing, so that's always fun. I didn't do a real unboxing last time I purchased it, so this is a real unboxing. And I'm having trouble opening the box. Okay. Alright. Getting there. Okay. Alright. Another purchase from Essence too. I don't know if you guys can tell now by the ugly brown box. Nothing fancy. Essence, that's what they do. They don't give you any fancy packaging. You get a dust bag for your bag, and that's it. So I am smiling because it's been a while since I unboxed anything real unboxing on my channel with you guys. So it's kind of fun. I haven't done this for a while now. Okay, Essence tag, you know, it's their standard black tag. They've been using this for a while, and it's on the strap. And can you tell it's a JACQUEMUS again? I think you guys know. I think I bought this not too long ago, so it's not hasn't been that long. Okay, voila. Oh man, this one's even worse than the last one. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it has a lot of scratches. That's kind of the reason why I returned my last one, just because it's really scratched up. Like it has quite a few scratch up here. Oh. And it looks like it's been rubbed against things in the back. So on the website though, it does say this leather, it's been vegetable tanned, and it will patina over time. So I think that's pretty cool. The fact, yeah, you know, potentially it will create a nice patina on the leather. But, you know, there is quite a bit of scratches, and I don't know how I feel about that. It's definitely worse than my last one. So I think they probably expected, there were probably quite a few kind of returns and things like that. It is for such amazing price, because now the price I got for this is pretty much the same price as a mini version, which I have as well. So here is the strap again, which is again not entirely wrapped. The last one that I got, the strap was completely wrapped up. So I'm suspecting that this is definitely a return merchandise. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's probably not a huge deal. I may contact them just to let them know, just because, you know, sometimes if you do receive a product that seems to be have a little bit of an issue with, you should let them know as early as you receive them, in case you either want to return them, and then, you know, they will actually put it in their system. So here is the bag, mock shots. Again, I remember what another reason why I ended up returning the last one is because the handle just wasn't super comfortable as a crossbody. Like, I guess it's still fine to use like this. The pocket also seems a bit odd. It seems a bit stretched out inside, but crossbody. And on the arm, I think if I'm gonna use it, it would just be like this. I don't like the fact that it has scratches on top, so I don't know if I could puff it or I don't know. Now because the fact that, but again, I think it just shows that the leather will get scratched very easy. I think you guys can probably see if I show you by this angle. First of all, it looks like it got dirty right here, for sure. And then it looks like there are some major scratches at the flap. So I'm definitely at least gonna call in to let them know that's the problem. And yeah. I mean, not great, you know, when you unbox a bag that's like not in the perfect condition, but it is such an amazing price. And I think, you know, the color is, even though it's yellow on their website, I think they actually said it's a light brown. It's definitely more yellowy than brown, but I don't think it works as a shoulder bag though, like this way. I think it's a bit awkward, but I think some people do carry this way. I think it's okay depending on what you're wearing, but not super comfortable this way, I think. And then just on the hands. It's such a great price, you guys. All in, I think I paid $600, just over $600. It was like $590 plus tax. So with that kind of price too, I don't really feel like Essence gonna do much about it given the huge discount I'm having on these, but we'll see. At least I'll report it in if I change my mind and do end up returning again. At least it's on the record that I've called them about it. Okay. I just want to also talk to you guys a little bit about, you know, my experience on the Ban Island and how I managed to not buy, and also, you know, what I'm thinking about it. So my last bag, you guys know, is Chanel 19, and that was a really big purchase. So I've decided that with that, my collection is, you know, to a point that I think it's pretty good. Like, I'm pretty satisfied with it, I'm trying to say. And then I kind of promised my husband and myself that I wouldn't be making any other major purchases for the rest of the year. So I think so far I've managed. I think this is a few $100. It doesn't really count as a huge purchase in my opinion. So I think that's how I kind of manage not making any impulsive large purchases. I did a little survey on this on my channel about what I should buy next, and a lot of people actually encouraged me to stay on the Ban Island, which I really appreciate because that does help me to you know, think about my decisions and making sure I'm not doing anything. I'm not buying just for the sake of buying. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, so I've looked into a little bit about like buying a Chanel Mini. You know, the Dior Bobby bag is really tempting too. So definitely there are a few larger, more expensive items that's in my head, but I have not pulled the trigger on anything yet. And I think I will want to try to stay on Ban Island as long as I can. I mean, we're in May now, so I've done fairly well, I would say. But I think the way to do that is to be able to still allow yourself to make smaller purchases like these ones, I think. So if you're able to budget, so there's a little bit of room, because if you just ban yourself from shopping altogether, I think you're gonna push to that tolerance very soon. So I need to be able to still browse the website, and then if I found really good deals or items that I really feel like they're reasonable price and not those crazy few $1,000 purchases, I think you should allow yourself to be able to make those purchases just so that you can keep it going and making sure that you're not, you know, pushed to a point and you just like buy a whole bunch of stuff all at once. So I think that's my own personal advice. Also, I think before you make any purchase, one thing that it really helped me doing is before you make any large purchases, you need to look at your current collection. So one way I do that is, so when I was considering buying the Bottega cassette bag, which been into that bag for a very, very long time, but every time I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's time to buy, I look at my collection and I realize the Chanel 19 and even my classic flap, they're both in that rectangular silhouette as a crossbody bag, which I barely have opportunity to use, especially the 19 being, you know, like a chained, puffy leather bag. It's actually has a lot of similarities in my opinion. It's just reasons to convince myself not to make purchases. So I feel like with that, I was able to hold off and not making any impulsive purchases. So I pushed off that even though I was able to find it for a really good deal, I decided to pass on that bag. So I think that's another good way to help yourself. Like before you click buy, before you go ahead, just think like all the other bags you have, making sure there's no one bag in your collection that's the same and you are not really even able to use right now. I think that's a really, really good way to limit impulsive purchases. So my next one obviously is with sales. Like what do you do with sales? Because honestly, it's just impossible. Like sometimes, you know, if you're looking at a $3,000 bag and you can get it for $1,000, it's almost impossible to deny that purchase. For myself, I think, you know, sometimes it's okay to make those purchases as long as you know that you can make a return, and some people hate doing returns, and I can understand that too. So making sure you look through and then making sure there isn't another bag that's very similar or duplicative. And then if anything, sometimes I do allow myself to buy and so I can return later, but allow myself some time to think about it. And I think just the process of me making that purchase, I think it helps with the addiction a little bit, just so that you feel like you're still doing that shopping online, you're not completely banned. Because the one thing that I find is, you know, all of a sudden when I'm on the banned island, everything starts to look super good. Like you know, you're on Instagram and it's almost like every bag is screaming at you, and then you want to like, everything is just popping everywhere. You have all those inspirations and your wish list is just expanding. But as soon as you're allowing yourself saying, you know, it's not a complete 100% ban and you're still able to shop, I feel like that tones down a little bit and you're becoming more like rational and thinking things through a bit more. Another final tip that I've concluded for the last little while is add up all your current purchases. So I recently, and another thing I mentioned in my previous video is that you need to make sure that you're looking through your bags once in a while. Just make sure they're properly stored, not damaged, not folded, not molding is happening on the bag. So it's a very good idea to examine your bag from time to time. I do it maybe once a month. And also when I do them, I actually last week or the week before, I calculated how much I would spend on my entire collection, and that number really scared me, and that really helped me to also reconsider any large purchases. I'm like, okay, that's a crazy amount. It's really shocking when you add everything up together, and that's definitely a good way to kind of remind yourself that, you know, you need to slow down this process and you need to set certain budget for your entire collection before you go overboard and you know, spend your entire saving on this thing. So I think that's also really helpful. And the last tip that I would say is, you know, if you're like me and you really want to control the size of your collection, making sure you're able to let go something before you purchase a new one. So constantly kind of looking at potentially letting go some certain items in your collection. And then when you're able to actually make a sale, that's when you allow yourself to buy something new. So I think that works really well, and that's a really good way to just maintain a really good balance in your collection and to keep it focused and you know, suitable for I think it just help you maintain a good pace. Because I think you might be like me, getting into this luxury collection like the first 2 years, you always feel like the urge to buy more because the price keep going up, and then you just feel like there's that addiction, like one after another, especially with Chanel, I find very, very addictive. So just, you know, just make sure to give yourself some room to think about it before you buy. Take another minute or 10 minutes to think about it. But I understand, like for me, the same thing. Every time you come across a really, really good deal, they probably like are gone in a minute. Those ones, like I said, if you really want, making sure you have a way to return it or a way to resell the bag, if anything, and then you can go ahead and make the purchase. But otherwise, you know, really do take your time to think about it. And I think at the end of the day, it's really those large purchases that you have to really take time before you jump on them, because it is a lot. Like one Chanel bag can buy like 10 of these bags, right? So it's a little different in terms of pricing. But also, you know, just overall spacing, consciousness for the environment. You don't want to buy a whole bunch of things that you actually won't be using. You know, consider pre-loved. So those are just some of my own tips for the last 3 months that I've been staying on Ben Island. And I hope I'll keep going, but you know, there might be a few unboxings coming up, and I will need you guys to help me decide whether I should keep or not. So, all right, thank you. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.